Alright. Like we are all set up here. Check some things with my sound. Worry about the fact that I probably don't have any viewers anyway. But working. Take a few minutes before I actually self. Things are working like all my sound alerts. I think I'm hearing myself now. I wondered if I need to fix something. I'm trying to tell. Yeah, I gotta fix it. I think I might be good. I was wondering if I needed to fix the filter that I had from my mic. That's not picking up my fan. No, I don't. We're gonna assume it's fine. We're gonna get our show started. Everybody can hear me. So, in case you don't know, you're not following the constant drama. It is, well, and I don't know, controversy. Like, what do you got it? Because if you call it drama, then people are like, "This isn't just drama; it's people's livelihoods." Blah blah. So what's the best way to put this? If you can't call it drama, because then that's insulting to certain people. Then it's like like what's the one word you use to try to encapsulate it all? The best way to encapsulate it all, because call it drama, that could be offensive to some people. Drama, because then that's insulting to. So but so I guess we'll refer to it as controversy, or just a lack of better word. There's controversy that this controversy, it started out, okay, that really it was just between the casino and the quartering. That's what it was primarily about. But as these controversies tend to go, they always evolve. They always evolve. Like I'll give you an example. I've been involved in a couple of different online controversies over the years, and a lot of them that you guys would not have heard of because they were on a side of the internet that you probably are not familiar. Um, but one of them had to do with Eliza Blue, and this involved right here, Miss Brinty Venti, and the quartering. And there was side people that were involved in this in trying to find out the truth about this woman and her past and what actually was her story in regards to um the issue when it comes to being sex trafficked. There was a lot of these these different convoluted stories that just didn't quite uh make sense. And so the question became what exactly was the truth. And it was kind of hard to figure out what the truth of that matter was. And initially it just involved her and the idea that she was lying about being sex draft period. And then maybe kind of it looked like what's keeps getting blurred. That's strange. Getting blurry on me. I don't know if it keeps getting blurry for you guys. But this thing right here is blurry, and I don't know why that is. Trying to get it so that I can make sure that I can the chat. That I have to look at a couple different. Put this over to the right. I think it's not going out. I don't know. Technology, people. It's weird sometimes. It's all weird. But there was this video that Brittany. There was a video. I think Brittany might have been the first one to post it. This music video she tried to say was an example of her being sex trafficked. And if you posted this video at all, everything kept getting taken down. Well, at one point, this gets so big that Timcast gets, and Timcast ends up doing this whole article. Everything just kind of went crazy after this because people didn't like the way the article turned out. It involved multiple creators. This guy named Defango, who I guess was instrumental in bringing this to people's attention that there was things in her past that she was lying about, and that things about her years of being a sex trafficked, there was things that didn't make sense. Um, and that there was just a lot of things that about weird, and it became a whole thing. But the controversy became more than just what she was lying about. It became the way the guy that interviewed people for Timcast for their written articles, the way he framed it, and then things that Defango said in his article that pissed everybody off, and the whole thing kind of ended up being dropped. And then there was also this side. There was also this other controversy that involved someone that was supposed to do a documentary, and the fact that she appeared to be lying about footage that she was using for the documentary. And then the next thing you know, she ends up deactivating her account, and she's no longer a podcaster herself. And I don't even know how to explain to you where all things went wrong. But I remember I really got involved in this. There was at least one interview that I had gotten with somebody that nobody else had managed to get. I did a short phone call with Eliza Blue's father, and it went on. You know, it went pretty well. I also had gotten a statement from the company that had hired her to do the music video. It's like there was never any point that she had done that video and it wasn't consensual. It just full stop. There's no way that this was an example of her being abused in any way, shape, or and it was just crazy. And but I remember how everything ended up involving. I ended up never feeling like I got any satisfaction out of the whole. One thing about it is that the quartering had kind of somewhat promised me that because his YouTube was getting people's YouTubes were getting struck. Both I think both Brittany and him for a while were not allowed back on Twitter if they didn't delete something. And I was on both of these people's sides. Um, but no, nobody was gonna end up suing when they had a real case for their job and their money being affected because they were getting struck on social media for something that wasn't true, and that was showing private information, I think is what they were getting struck with. None of that was true. It was not private information or whatever it was that they were striking her for. It was at the time a music video that was wildly available online. But I really got over involved in that controversy, and it just kind of imploded. And right now, it feels like it's imploding. It's no longer this whole situation is really no longer about Jeremy false flagging the casino and very possibly being the one that's responsible for false flagging others. It once again has somehow it is somehow once again about a completely different issue. And right now it's about Venti being mad at Christy Mayer and for the way that she handled her interview with the Quartering's co-host, Melanie Mack. And I kind of skid forward here to a specific part because I'm not going to try and necessarily defend Christy Mayer for how she handled both the interview with Melanie Mack and then how she handled up follow step 3 where she tried to explain herself and ended up inviting Melanie, or not Melanie, but ended up inviting Christy Venti on and some other people. It is very possible that he lied about ever seeing the text. I mean, I don't know. It's like I wish I had actual time to like go back and play that whole episode where Venti came on to discuss the interview that she did with Melanie Mack. One thing that I will say, in a perfect world, Christy Mayer should have been able to have whoever the fuck she wanted her fucking podcast without the chat going crazy. And if you had issues with the person that she had on and the person that she was interviewing about something unrelated, that she wanted to interview for whatever reason about something unrelated to the Quartering, false flagging people, should have been able. But the internet being the internet and being so frustrated and so angry that they couldn't get either the Quartering or Melanie Mack to answer honestly, they flooded her chat. And maybe she was maybe she truly did not think that her chat was going to get overrun the way. Maybe that did take Christy Mayer by surprise. I don't know. I'm not going to 100% assume to know what's going on in her. But here is something that Brittany Vintney saying that frustrates me. Actually. After I believe this was right after the Simpcast showdown with Christy Mayer on the show, to talk to her about lying about what she knew, when she possibly saw the text from her that said, yeah, want to come on. This was part of what she had to say on her show. Was if I go on YouTube, I'm risking struck down. Here's the thing. You risk getting struck down on things like Kick because you want to know what you have on both Kick and Rumble. Here's this little thing that says report stream. If the Quartering really wanted to, he could have reported your Kick. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he's not a complete idiot. Won't. Fingers crossed, right? We hope. Because nobody should be having streams taken down for reporting on his wrong. Simple as. But let's play what she has to say about Chrissy trying to be a podcaster. This aggravated.
I'm giving her good advice. I'm telling her on the phone, hey, like this is how the chat's going to react. You do this. It's not a good idea. I don't feel.
And that's good. Give her a heads up. Know what she's getting up to. That's a solid friend thing to do.
Like you acknowledge this and this. You were irresponsible. You were told and you were irresponsible. No amount of being a mom is going to change that. You can't use your toddler as a...
I personally did not feel that she was using her child as a shield. I felt like she was trying to explain, you know, this is where I'm coming from. You know, I don't keep up with things as well as I should. I'm not keeping track of things as well as I should. Because I'm a full-time mom and a podcaster second. I felt like she was just explaining the reality of her life. But I don't believe that Christy has ever been a mom, ever had a children. I don't think child's child. So I'm not sure that her and I can really relate to what that stage of life is like. If you have a lot of IRL friends that are parents, you get a little bit of a taste of it and you see what it's like. This was just gross to me. Maybe I'm gonna end up always being alone in this. Gross to me.
A shield. It's not right. If she needs to focus on being a mom, then she needs to log off the internet. Because that's what I would do. If she really does have a cognitive issue where she is brain damaged and cannot remember such a serious thing, such as deplatforming and her friends being involved in it and affected by it, her boss is people like her co-hosts, like them being affected by it. Okay? If she can't remember that, then she is not qualified to do FNT.
Bullshit! You or I are not the authority on just because she's a mom on what she isn't and isn't allowed to say or do. Get the fuck over yourself.
She's not qualified to be a free speech YouTuber.
Since I'm not a mom, I can say what the fuck you have any business opening your mouth out as someone who is also not a mom. Noxious. I don't know, they make me nuts. They make me absolutely nuts.
She should sit her ass home and take care of her child then, if she's that brain damaged.
Maybe since you're not brain damaged. I guess you better never have children yourself, Brittany, because that apparently is going to make you brain damaged. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey, good lord.
I understand. Literally being pregnant does change your brain. I 100% understand.
Apparently you don't. Apparently you don't understand like what it's like because you're accusing her of being brain damaged. Like,
and that. And I acknowledge that. But it's not our problem. And I'm sick of people making their problems my problem. And I'm not going to be gaslit in front.
I mean, she wasn't. I don't understand. She wasn't making it her problem. You are making, by getting on here and bitching about this, you're wanting the entire internet to make this their problem. You want the fact you were lied to personally be our problem, to personally be our issue. And you know what? Honestly, it really isn't my problem. It really isn't. But, you know, it's kind of thing, well, here we are. You know, when you're gonna go online and you're gonna talk about these kind of things, you're asking everybody else, you know, to care about this. Asking them to care. You're asking them to be. You're asking us to be invested. You're asking us to care. You're asking us to make this our problem. But honestly, what she chose to do or not do in her interview with Melanie Mack That's kind of her problem. That's kind of her business. Every single time somebody has Melanie Mack on their show, they don't necessarily have to grill her about this. I know that that's what the internet wants everyone to do. I know that the internet feels that they're entitled to that, but we're not. I am not entitled for her to demand that she grill Melanie Mack. She should have been able to have a show about faith. She said that she wanted to have it. Says that that was her goal. But to me, accusing her of not being able to be a mom and a podcaster and calling her brain damaged, get the fuck over yourself.
In front of 6,000 people and told to shut the fuck up. No, bitch, I'm a black woman. I'm gonna open my big black mouth and I'm gonna start chimping out. I'm gonna open my big black mouth and start talking shit.
Well, good for you. I don't know what that accomplished, but I hope you felt better after this. Hope you felt better. It's like this just felt really stupid to me.
Shit, and I'm gonna speak louder than ever. Be
Good.
quiet when a black queen's talking. That's right. So I'm just fed up. I'm fed up.
I don't know. I think there's this, this whole thing about it's that black women themselves a black queen. I don't know. Like this was dumb. This whole thing was just dumb to me. And I know that I'm alone in this.
Because and by the way, don't think I didn't notice the super chat thing, the selective ones. Then later on after I call it, then she stopped, right? So good on her for stopping. But what I did notice is that the chat was just all like coming at me. It's like, oh, that's very interesting. So they're all banning the people that are agreeing with me.
I don't recall that. I was watching this live and I'm sorry, but I don't recall anyone getting banned from her chat. Usually the internet is really good at having the recordings of chats getting removed and all that shit. I'm sorry, Brittany, but I don't remember any of that. I'm not so sure that you're being entirely honest or accurate.
And the whole chat is getting swept up. Everyone agreeing with me is getting swept. The orange peels are getting swept out of the...
I don't recall anything getting done. I do not recall that. If somebody has the receipts that anything was getting swept, that anything was getting deleted, I am more than happy to get. But I don't remember. I don't remember. I need more.
In chat, interesting. So it needs to be rigged to make it look like Britney's being crazy. No, you're being crazy. Look at all these super chats that make you look crazy. Oh, I can show you crazy. I was being very charitable. I'm not gonna get gaslit and name called and then say, oh, I did apologize. This is f***ing bullshit. I'm not dealing with this f***ing bullshit. Thank you, RM Qual Through, for the rage quit. Hey, Britt, Kirsty ignored my chat supporting you, therefore I refunded it. You can have money instead. Thank you. And see, this is what I'm talking about. She's being rewarded for bad behavior. It doesn't make sense. How does that seem like a legitimate apology? She opened the show with, I'm being bullied. Who the f*** is the bully then? What kind of apology is that? I am the victim, everyone. I am the victim because I'm a mommy and I chose to have a kid. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. And she chose to end the stream. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here talking. But like, it's not our problem that she had a kid, that she opened her legs and had a kid. A cute little child. It's not our problem that she has cognitive issues because of that child. It's not our problem. And people will be more than willing to help her and support her if she actually supported what she said, which is free speech and was honest. But she was caught in the lie and then doubles down and comes at me. What kind of shit is that? And that was bullshit. Oh, I'll let them on. She wasn't gonna let them on. Are you kidding me? I told her, PPP is not banned, let them on. Oh, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. There comes a point with some people where they're just so used to lying that you can't have an honest conversation with them. But no, the whole chat's filled with, yeah, kick Brittany off, because she banned everyone else. Jenny went sleep. I'm sure you guys saw it. I was lagging, so I was like unintentionally at times like someone would pause and I go to speak and then they're speaking because of the lag. Like, does she expect FNT to have her on after this? I mean, they can. It's their choice, but not my problem to deal with. She finally picked the lane. Like, I was getting pissed, guys. I was literally shaking with anger, trying to be reasonable, trying to reason with her. I really did. I took the whole deal as you trying to save your friend through tough love, at least at first. You tried your best to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just how I observed it. Well, that's how any rational person would observe it. No, I'm on a phone call with her an hour and a half before this, trying to explain to her why grifting off of a fake apology is not a good idea. I helped her when she was a small channel, I just think so this is how it ends. Irrational I'm done. I am done. I hate when people are passive aggressive to me like that, as trying to make it look.
I just think it's a bitchy thing to come on and say, well, she obviously can't be a mom and a podcaster because she didn't do it right. And, she tried to explain that, she wasn't able to do a deep dive on everything because spending time with her. So that means that she's using her kid as a shield. To me, she's just trying to explain the reality of being a mom to a toddler. That's just my view on it. But maybe I'm giving her too much grace. Maybe I'm being. But it's like I don't see you trying. You're not trying to juggle being a mom and a wife and a podcast. And when you talk about when she talks about how she's had so many people try to gaslight her life, she reminds me of this woman I know from when I was when I did some it seemed like every job she ever had, she always had a guy hitting on her. And the thing of it is she wasn't like this. I mean, she was a tiny woman. I mean, it's not like she was a supermodel. But yet it's like she just all the time had to deal with so many employers that had been like gross and inappropriate. It's like why does she have so many people? So strange. Get it? Like, why is she constantly in that situation or trying to gaslight? The only time I ever really hear anything about this from this woman is when there's a situation. Other than that, I don't hear too much out of her, and it's like I don't know why she becomes the central figure, like the Eliza Blue situations like this. I don't get it. For some reason I don't understand it. But it does if there's a controversy that appears to involve free speech, or someone trying to deceive people, she is always inserting herself right in the middle of it. That's just, for me, that's what she is famous. Not so much that she's anti-porn and thinks porn is bad. I guess there's that. But they're hard to me. I don't know why she ends up. I don't know why she ends up being the center of these type of things.
Like, oh, I'm just imagining things. I hate that shit. It's so petty. It's so female coded, very quartering, very dishonest. So I don't see why anybody should take Chrissy's non-apology, considering what a liar she is. Straight to my face. Notice, by the way, rewind the stream if she didn't delete it. Notice, by the way, how I point out that she saw the message and she didn't deny it. Notice that? Because it's true. And I have photo evidence of it that I sent to both Andy Worski and Nina Infinity. I have 2 witnesses, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to see if she would lie to me about it, and she did. She lied on my name, said I messaged too late, and even in the private phone call, she could have said, you know what, I said that, I wasn't being honest, I'm sorry. At least we would have got something done. But no, right to my face, after a corner I say, so this is what happened, yeah? Yeah. Oh, you're calling me a liar? Well, you're really fixated on this. I'm too black to deal with this shit. I'm too black to deal with this passive-aggressive bullshit. If you're gonna be cunning, then be cunning. Don't be like, womp womp, passive aggression, like, so lame. Slay Queen, keep him accountable. No, this is why it's gotten so far. It's because if you sweep enough and you get by with it long enough, like quartering, you think you can keep getting by not doing research, not looking into things. And you get by in life until you can't. And that is what happened tonight. And it's really unfortunate because I know Chrissy has a child and she's not able to be a stay-at-home mom, clearly, because she's stretched thin and she shouldn't have to do that. She should get to be a stay-at-home mom, but she's not in a situation where she can. And it's like, now what happens? Now her kid has to suffer? It's really unfortunate, but I did try. And I'm not going to go and put Chrissy's lies first. I have to uphold her lies. It's not right. You and her other friends told her the right thing. She chose to run. Yeah, but she can just say, la la la, I don't see it, la la la, I didn't hear it. It's like, okay, even if she didn't see and hear it somehow, irresponsible. First off. Second off,
but I just
then stop just using it as an excuse to dispel it.
You and I are just not in a position to judge her ability to be a mom and a podcast. You just aren't. You become a mom and find out how easy it is, okay? If you believe that it's so important for a woman, I'm assuming that you think that it's really best that a woman gets married, has kids, be happier if she does that. My assumption. But yet to get married and have children. So it's like motherhood and being a working mom. Who are you or I to judge whether apparently she's just too brain damaged to do it? And come the fuck on.
Like, oh, well, it's actually okay because I didn't see it. No, it's not.
It's just so
my job is to be a mother. Your job, when you're on YouTube, is to be a YouTuber. It is to entertain people and uphold your free speech platform that you said was free.
She's a mom first. Sorry, bitch. That's the way it works. Sorry, queen. That's the way it works. You're a mom first. You're a podcaster second. Like, I get it. It's very possible. All cows, it appears that she may have not been honest with you. But she's a mom first. And I don't know what's up with her decision to try and continue to do podcasting and be a full-time mom. Hasn't gotten her kid vaccinated. I know that. But the really stupid part is no one should be talking about her kid. That's what's really also unfortunate. Nobody should be talking about her ability to be a mother. This thing has just gotten out of control. And, if I guess, the thing of it is people didn't lie to begin with, then we wouldn't have this issue. have a situation where it's gotten out of control. Problem.
Free speech that you made your whole career off of. Nobody's telling her not to be a mom. She keeps reframing it as, oh, but I have to be a mom. It's absolutely insane that she won't acknowledge things. It is insanity. I feel like I was so gaslit. I felt like I was going insane. Thank God I've dealt with so many terrible people before to be able to deal with this. I was getting concern trolled live on air. Can you believe that shit? Chrissy, how the did you think you were going to get away with concern trolling me? Do you know who I am? I uplifted your channel. Remember that. For you.
I have times that I wish I didn't know who you were. Yeah.
Try to quiet me and tell me I can leave. I'm aware of what I can do. And I was very kind to her,
well,
but the way she handled
good.
it, no.
Glad you got
absolutely not. And I was very straightforward. And I told her all of that. I told her what I thought to her face. I called her out to her face. I was honest with her before on the phone. I had 2 separate phone calls with her, an hour and a half each time. You and your other friends told her to do the right thing. She chose to run. You telling her that you don't like being lied to is bullying, apparently. Yeah, I'm being bullied. She's running the Jeremy. She's doing the same shit he's doing. No accountability, nothing. Lying. It's giving narcissism. It's like I can do no wrong. Actually, I was stressed out with a toddler, so actually you have to let everything slide. It's the Family Guy bit all over again. Oh, your mother? Actually, it's okay if you lie now. It's actually okay if you lie on my name now. Actually, even though I helped you for free for how many years of Simcast, guys, I didn't get paid. I stressed and did it for free.
You know, the interesting thing is that she's known her for a long time. So you also know the controversies with her and copyright claims and striking channels for clipping her, right? You're familiar with that. Isn't that anti-free speech? Where were you when all that was going on? That's what I'm curious about. Because I don't follow either one of you close enough to know that. And it was so long ago, I don't even know how to dig up a clip. It'd probably take me forever to find a clip of how you chose to address that contract. But I know that it's here. I know that I've seen some things here on Twitter about it. Let's see if I can pull that up. Let's see if I can. See if I can find this. But if I just whole thing, the whole history there about her going after channels, we'll probably um, pretty sure I've seen. I know that at some point I've seen. Something about it somewhere. I'm trying to see. Sorry, I didn't pull this up ahead of time. Sorry. Because there was this whole thing. I know there was this whole thing that people were upset that she had people report a X account for um sometimes that can be kind of a little bit of a serious issue, because what can happen with that is that some people will try to use that. Some of the bigger stars will try to use that. They'll steal those Chris, like they'll make fake Chris Pratt accounts, other things, and the whole purpose is to try to scam people out of money. Um, and does happen, and that people try to pull that crap. So you know, there are people that will take um impersonation pretty seriously, and I think understand so. But yes, there was a whole controversy a while back about her going after people that were clipping her show, felt it violated her copyright. Even when it comes to that, um, like it clippers. But if she's so concerned about free speech, I'm wondering if was telling people, you know,
2024 was all about, can the legacy media
where was she when she was out striking people like that? Was telling her friend of so many years not to do that, and when she wouldn't listen, did she decide that want to be friends with her anymore? Fair flag. I can find it if I.
Worse. Like he doesn't need to, but he just makes it worse. And he comes in with this like fighting attitude, like, bro, it's not that deep.
I don't know. Separate tunnel vision. But there's all there's all this. It's like well, like here's yeah. Yeah. What the fuck does D-Day Cobra mean? He needs more context about Christy Mayer, DM safe flagging. I've detailed it in 3 vids. What was that? What was that? Your job as a streamer to keep up to date? WTF? So see, there's that, and you've known her long enough. You've known her long enough that you should be aware of this. And yet it seems like not. And here's another post that discusses it. See, to me, this isn't supposed to be about her. It's not supposed to be about her at all. And for some reason, it is. False flagger from way back, completely right winger. Those sticker characters like the quartering and Melody Mac. May they all be eternally felted. In the context of discussions of allegations, false flag, strike against said to silence criticism. Situation, gain traction, following a sense. Media posts, video, copyright strikes to for accusation. Using the DM system, trust. So, I mean, you're supposed to be somewhat familiar with this. You should have been you should have been like well aware of her history and why
You
the
have to
fuck
give
were you
me.
still friends
You
with her?
have to let everything slide. It's the Family Guy bit all over again. Oh, your mother?
I just can't. But feels like to me we have the alcohol of the kettle black here. Should have known all this time. That is on you. Okay. Oh, you are not jumping up there and knocking that screen off. No. I can't be an effective streamer because I'm a cat mom. You need to feel bad for me. That's why I didn't have that post pulled up already to talk about for DMC. Cat mom. Busy with real world shit, people. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of attacking her. Maybe I'm supposed to. I'm being ignorant, but that's just. Really know how much more there is to say about that part. That I am going to get off here. Go ahead. Something. Alright, so bye.